What's up? What do you think Aircron tier versus full facial will be on Aircron on Private after the release? That's a great question, actually. That is a great question. Okay, first of all, right, I love all units. Right, I don't show preferential treatment to whatever. Right, I think all units in HSR, they are strong in their own ways. But at the end of the day, right, at the end of the day, Fei Xiao can also use Blade. Alright, Fei Xiao can also use Blade. And Aggron can also use Asheville. So it's a very weird situation where these two version 2 main push, they both can use like almost the exact same team. Almost. The real question is essentially I'm assuming the Fei Xiao mains would have gotten E2 Fei Xiao and the Aircron mains would have gotten E2 Aircron. How will these two compare if you give them the quote-unquote wheelchair team, which is Asheville Blade? And then if you want to run sustainless, you give Fei Xiao like a Bubbin, and then you give Aggron like a, I don't know, like a Welt or like a Tribby. Actually, I could technically give Fei Xiao Tribby as well. Yeah, so like you run Tribby Asheville Blade for both E2 Aggron and E2 Fei Xiao. I will save that for when the live server drops. Then we can actually do this testing for ourselves. Because I don't want to do like too many videos on the early access server essentially, right? So, great question. Predictions for Mblade on Brightwind. Tier 0, tier 0, tier 0.5. Yep. I think he's gonna be super fucking good. Not really tier 0 in the sense where like he's out damaging Elation DPS or like Remembrance DPS. He's not really out damaging, but it is more so because of the way that he's gonna be a, like he really is like a version 4 wheelchair, especially if you have E1 Tribby. So if in that sense, right, because of his like universal team comps, it allows a lot of different players to make use of Mblade and clear the endgame, especially with Starward mode. So I think it's going to be 0, 0, 0.5. I feel like Apoc Shadow, it might also be a tier 0 because the first and second Apoc Shadows in Starward mode, okay, I'm basically talking about this. These two sites, alright, this one is built for Blade because you get like a debuff, and the second one is also built for Blade. So they really showed a lot for Mblade to like pop the fuck off in this endgame content. But my 2 cents is a very short-sighted decision making if you pull Blade just to wheelchair. Because the wheelchair is only as good as the endgame buffs. Right? And the moment they take away all of the endgame buffs and they take away all of the shield enemies, like for example the God Devourer and as well as the Scarab Abyss, which is super good for Aggron by the way, because every single time the bug dies you get 1 debuff. The moment all those things goes away, the wheelchair collapse. Right? It is essentially the same principle as why do you pull Tribby Hyacinth back then? Because if you pull Tribby Hyacinth back then for a wheelchair, I mean they were a wheelchair for like that 1 to 2 versions, but eventually they all go away. So I wouldn't really pull a unit just to wheelchair for like 1 patch unless you really just want to like 0 effort AI and like fucking like clear everything that one cycle. And I would still stick more so on like team building for like that core main DPS that you want to construct. So for example, right, like for example, main Mblade, Mblade, and Asheville, these two are very synergistic. Right, these two are really very synergistic. So if you do pull for Mblade and you have an Asheville, it is not so much that you're pulling for a wheelchair. It is more so that if you have these two combined, you are kind of just missing that one guy to form the version 4 equivalency of the main DPS with Asheville sub DPS and Blade sub DPS. You get what I'm saying? So this Aggron slot right here, right? While she's really good with Blade, I mean, she's definitely gonna be receiving the benefits from Blade. It is more so a temporary slot, just like how Jingyuan was a temporary slot with Sunday. Then Aglaya came out in version 3. So you might be using Aggron right now with Mblade, but the moment a version 4 unit comes out, at similar cost investments, we are probably going to be benching Aggron. Because the new version 4 unit is just going to yoink these two away. So that is the way I see how you want to plan your blade pools. But of course, if you are going to be an Aggron main, there's no better one cost upgrade to your Aggron team. But I'm not addressing this as like Mblade mains, right? As Aggron mains, right? You want to play Aggron, right? Like Phase Yao mains, Final mains, right? Firefly mains, right? Like you want to play these units, then you get Blade. Because for one cost, there's no other better performance upgrade than this one cost right here. As a matter of fact, I intentionally went back to what is this? I intentionally did a comparison between the whatchamacall with Blade and without Blade. Like this right here. Wait, let me try to pull up. Okay, so this was E0 S1 Acheron with E2 Silver Wolf, E4 Welt, and E0 S1 Hyacinth. Those are 6 cycles 91 AV dispatch. 6 cycles. Anomaly King. The moment you add a Blade, it instantly jumps to bare minimum 4 cycles, and that was with Huan Huan, by the way, which is not even that good of a sustain, or 3 to 2 cycles with Hyacinth. So for a single cost, you are literally like doubling your speed when it comes to clearing King content. And this King specifically is not even like that good of a benchmark because Scarab Babes is already so good for Aggron. Right? Like this boss, this specific boss. Okay, not this guy, but like where is the okay, but where the hell is the damn thing? Okay, I guess I can show. Okay, can I just show the 0 cycle? Okay, I'll save this for the future. But essentially, in Anomaly Arbitration King, in Scarab Babes King fight, every single time the bug dies is 1 debuff. And because every single time he hit the bug, he spawns 1 more small bug, which led to a infinite cycle of debuffs for your Aggron to spam outwards. And Aggron will never be as strong as that ever again, because that boss was perfect for Aggron, essentially.
So Mblade becomes BIS retroactively. 4. X has been very mean on character releases.
Excellent point, Bobby Wobby. I would say whether or not Himeko works with Blade is purely based on the grounds of speculation, because nobody knows what the hell Himeko is going to be using. But I would never ever pull a unit based on speculation. Remember what happened to the Sunday incident? People were pulling for Sunday because they were speculating that he's going to be best in store for every single Remembrance DPS. And then look what turned out. Right? So I'll never ever pull based on speculation. Only until they actually announce the units kit. Then I'll decide to commit. And then if they actually turn out to be best in slot, like if Blade is actually Himeko's best in slot, then just fucking get in the rerun. Alright, so that is gonna be my 2 cents essentially. That you can kill them. If you have E0 Aggron, no Asheville, just skip Blade. Nope. Okay, that's if you have E0 Aggron, right? Blade is like the perfect 1 cost upgrade. If you still want to play E0 Aggron, of course, if you want to give up on E0 Aggron, like, okay, then fuck it. Just kill Aggron, right? You only invest in E0 Aggron anyways. So like no harm, no foul, skip. But if you still want to play E0 Aggron, there is no other 1 cost upgrade that is as significant as E0 Azure Blade. Because you can just run him as a tutorial one. Alright, so highly recommended for Aggron mains to go ahead and get them essentially, right? The Navigator set, I would say that the only 2 person that can use Navigator set right now is probably Finon and Scylla. Because Scylla, when she procs Resurgence, she doesn't take away the buffs. Every other unit in the game, I don't think they can actually make use of it. And I'm almost absolutely certain that the IC set is gonna be for Himeko. Like, I'm almost like 99.99999% certain it's for Himeko. Because Darwin never releases a new 4-piece for older units, right? So it should almost without a shadow of a doubt be for Himeko. So I'll just save that for in the future, essentially. What do I have to refarm? You have 36 taps on. Nah, I think if your final is really good, you don't really need a refarm. Like, for example, I've been running my Scylla on 4-piece Quantum since 1.0. I never refarm a single set because Quantum is just like that good. So I wouldn't bother for that. Can we do Star Wars? Yes! Yes, bro. Bro, this is why God Real is God Real, by the way. Yes. You can straight up challenge any stage at any time, bro. Wait, hold up. Okay, so like you see these stages, right? The moment you want to do stage 2, you instantly do stage 2. The moment you want to do stage 3, you instantly do stage 3. You never have to enter stage 1 or stage 2 if you don't want to do that. So it's an insane quality of life upgrade for Star Wars mode, right? So God Rail is gonna be God Rail, right? Also, I just realized this was a minor editing error by Mr. Yu, because where the fuck is my box? What? Okay, I think this was a minor editing. Okay, but in any case, don't even worry about it. That is pretty much gonna be that for our quick little yapping section. Can I please hop on to Daily Village? Because if I keep replying to chat, we can yap for 3 hours and I will end up not playing the game, right? So let me just get through Daily Village and then I will come back to you guys very, very soon. Thank you, right? You have cooled your last cool, my man.